Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news. So, folks, if you've been following the NFL news cycle lately, you know that the offseason has been nothing short of explosive, especially when it comes to moves that could reshape the landscape of the NFC North. And right at the center of this buzz is a trade that might seem a bit surprising on the surface, but when you dig a little deeper, it actually makes a ton of sense for the Detroit Lions. Yes, I'm talking about Javonte Williams, the talented running back who's now heading to Detroit in what could be one of the smarter moves of the offseason. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Javonte Williams. Isn't he coming off an injury? Why would the Lions go after him? Well, that's precisely what makes this move so intriguing, and I'll get into that in just a moment. But first, let's set the stage properly, because the Lions are entering the 2025 season with a lot of momentum, but also some questions in the backfield. The Lions have always been known for their solid core, especially on offense, with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery leading the charge. These two have been dynamic, versatile, and key to Detroit's offensive schemes. But as we all know, the NFL is a league of depth, and having a strong, reliable backup or an additional weapon in the backfield can be the difference between a deep playoff run and an early exit. Especially considering the recent coaching change, the departure of Ben Johnson to become the head coach of the Chicago Bears has shaken things up a bit. The Lions now have John Morton, who previously worked as the passing game coordinator for the Denver Broncos, stepping in as the new offensive coordinator. Morton's background is predominantly in the passing game, but his experience around explosive rushing attacks like the Broncos makes him a coach who appreciates versatile backs. And here's where Javonte Williams comes into the picture. You see, preseason reports have already indicated that Jahmyr Gibbs will be asked to line up more frequently as a receiver, splitting out wide more often than before. That's a trend we've seen in the NFL. Dynamic, multidimensional backs are the future, and the Lions are clearly leaning into that philosophy. But that also means they need more depth behind Gibbs and Montgomery, especially with Gibbs expected to be used in various roles that could wear him down over the course of a long season. If Gibbs is spending more time out wide, then Montgomery, while still a reliable veteran, might need a breather at times, and that's where Javonte Williams could step in. Now, let's talk about Javonte Williams himself. He's a young back, only 25 years old, and he showed flashes of brilliance during his time with the Denver Broncos before suffering a serious knee injury that sidelined him for much of last season. When healthy, Williams has been an explosive runner, capable of breaking tackles and turning small plays into big gains. His rushing style is powerful yet elusive, and he's also capable of catching passes out of the backfield, making him a perfect fit for a versatile offensive scheme. The Lions, with their evolving offensive approach, could really benefit from a player like Williams, especially given his youth and upside. What makes this potential trade even more appealing is the fact that Detroit needs to bolster its running game to stay competitive in the NFC North. The Vikings have a solid ground attack, and the Packers are always looking to improve their offense, while the Bears are rebuilding but improving year over year. The Lions, with their aggressive approach on both sides of the ball, know that a stronger running game can help control the clock, keep their defense fresh, and set up big plays in the passing game. Adding Javonte Williams would give them a fresh young talent capable of contributing immediately and developing into a key piece for seasons to come. Of course, the trade isn't just about adding a talented player. It's also about strategic depth. With the NFL's roster rules and the upcoming cuts in training camp, teams are always looking for ways to improve without sacrificing too much. The Cowboys, who currently have Javonte Williams on their roster after signing him in free agency, might be open to trading him if they see an opportunity to strengthen other areas or clear cap space. But it's the Lions who seem like the ideal landing spot. They've shown they're not afraid to make bold moves, and this trade could be a statement of intent. Detroit is serious about contending, and they're willing to go the extra mile to ensure their backfield is top-notch. Now, it's worth mentioning that there could be some hurdles. Coming off an injury, Javonte Williams' physical condition and readiness for the grind of an NFL season will be closely monitored. But the Lions have a strong medical staff and a history of developing players who have faced setbacks. Plus, the coaching staff, led by head coach Dan Campbell, is known for their toughness and resilience, both of which are essential qualities for a player returning from injury. If Williams can stay healthy, he could be a major difference maker, especially in short yardage situations and as a pass catcher out of the backfield. Beyond just the immediate impact, this move also signals something about the Lions' long-term vision. They're not just building for this season, they're laying the groundwork for sustained success. Drafting and acquiring young talent like Williams ensures that the team remains competitive in the years ahead, especially with a talented quarterback like Jared Goff leading the offense. The running game is a vital piece of that puzzle, and having multiple capable backs can keep defenses guessing and off balance. Let's not forget, Detroit has been on an upward trajectory recently, making the playoffs in back-to-back seasons and showing that they're a team to be reckoned with in the NFC. The addition of Javonte Williams could be that final piece that pushes them over the edge, making the offense even more dynamic and explosive. It's about adding versatility, youth, and a little bit of that playoff-tested grit that Williams can bring once he's fully recovered. And I know many of you Lions fans are eager to see how this develops, how the roster will shape up in the coming weeks. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, and this potential trade is just the beginning. If it happens, it could be a game-changer, helping Detroit stay ahead of their division rivals and setting the stage for a deep playoff run. The NFC North is getting tougher, no doubt about it, but with smart moves like this, the Lions are positioning themselves as a team that's not just competing, but aiming for the top. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Now imagine the possibilities. With Williams in the backfield, alongside Gibbs and Montgomery, the Lions could have one of the most versatile and dangerous rushing attacks in the league. It also opens up more options for Jared Goff, who's proven to be a talented quarterback capable of making big plays when he has the right supporting cast. The coaching staff can get creative with formations, play calls, and situational strategies, knowing they have multiple weapons to keep defenses on their toes. Looking at the bigger picture, this move also sends a message to the rest of the NFC North. Detroit isn't content with just being good, they're aiming to be great. They're building a roster that's deep, talented, and ready to take on any challenge. The addition of a player like Javonte Williams, who has the potential to be a game-changer once fully healthy, exemplifies that mindset. It's about making bold decisions, investing in youth, and focusing on both immediate impact and future growth. For all the Lions fans out there, this is an exciting time. The offseason is where teams lay the foundation for success, and Detroit is clearly making moves that could reshape their future. Whether or not the trade actually happens, it's clear that the Lions are thinking big and acting decisively. They're not just content with competing, they want to dominate, to set a new standard, and to bring a Super Bowl trophy back to Detroit. That's the passion, the drive, and the vision that this team embodies, and we as fans should be just as excited about what's coming next. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think Javonte Williams can bounce back from his injury and become a key piece for Detroit? How do you see the backfield shaping up once this move happens? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. This offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and I can't wait to see what Detroit has in store for us next.